Well, hello, hello, hello. We are here. Happy Friday night. Oh my gosh, y'all. Think I hear my kitten running around. I hope y'all are doing well. I am. It's been an amazing day. Happy and excited for it. And y'all, I'm just happy to be here with you. Happy to be here with you. It has been a full week of Karen Reed trials, and I am glad to have a little break. Coming over to comments. Hello, Eddie. Hey, baby girl. Hey, how you doing? What did you think about today's trial? I don't know why still. Sorry about that. I don't know why I got feedback all of a sudden again. So frustrating, but it is what it is. Oh, I am praying we have some guests. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta get the phone hooked up. We gotta get ready for phone calls. Girl, there's just too much for me to get going here. But I did not neglect my little snack bowl. I won't eat it all, but instead of me unwrapping and doing in the microphone, um, I just pre rip it open. Oh my gosh, y'all, this week has been simply amazing. We are going to be drawing for that tumbler right there. Isn't that a pretty one? That is tonight. I will do it at the end of the live, giving everybody an opportunity to be able to, you know, get their entry in. And the way you get your entry in, I have to reset the hearing aid. The way you get your entry in is that you go on and you subscribe. Um, well, I need to edit this tonight. All right, now we're going to show that. Hey, yay! Everybody, thank you so much for joining. This is what my third, I think, Friday night fun night. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, and one of the things we're going to be talking, of course, is the Karen Reed trial, but we also had some new news pop up. We have some information on the, if you have not heard, Alec Murdaugh trial. Alec Murdaugh will go to trial. His motion was denied. Denied. So, yeah, that's interesting. Oh my gosh, I think we got testing. I think we got rid of the, let me try something to make sure I got rid of the craziness in my ears. I'm not hearing it. But y'all are. Okay, we're good. So, anyway, he is denied his trial, and I wanted to pull that up. Hello. Of course, Mr. Oh, thank you so much for coming in and hopping on, Mr. Johnny from China. I will put the hat on a little later. It's there. And there's the tumbler that will be drawn for tonight. And of course, I do have feedback. Okay. Um, it is what it is. I'm just going to switch ears. The Alec Baldwin trial will be this, I want to say, is it? Oh, I get it now. I get it. My device is Bluetoothing. Oh, disconnect. Let me put this in and see if this works. I didn't know my hearing aids were Bluetoothing into the Rodecaster, and I just thought about that. OMG, y'all. Hello? Oh, it worked. Oh my god. Both of them were. Oh, wait, that goes to. Oh, well. I'll just use my normal ears. I've had the others on all day, so I'll go ahead and switch. So, Alec Baldwin is going to go to trial. He lost his motion. I want to pull up that and talk about that for a minute tonight. I have some questions. I hope we have a guest come on. I doubt it, but I can always be hopeful. Oh, that's so much better for now. But Alec Baldwin. Let me pull up Mr. Alec Baldwin. Okay, y'all. Do you, Mr. Johnny from China, know who Alec Baldwin is? Motion to dismiss. If you don't know who he is, he's a famous actor here in the United States. And unfortunately, he had an accident with a pew pew, something that fires something on set, and accidentally discharged it. Hi, Ronnie. And unfortunately, well, I'm not monetized, so I guess I can say the words if I'm not monetized, right, guys? So, Alec Baldwin, involuntary manslaughter allegations against, well, trying to move it so I can see it. Involuntary manslaughter allegations against Alec Baldwin advances toward trials with a new court ruling. Santa Fe, New Mexico judge has rejected the request by Alec Baldwin to dismiss the sole criminal charge against him in the fatal shooting of the movie Rust, keeping the case on track for trial this summer, which is going to be July. Judge Mary Marlowe, is she the same judge that was on Hannah Gutierrez's trial? On Friday, upheld the indictment charges against Baldwin with one count of involuntary manslaughter in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins in 2021. The judge rejected the defense's argument that the prosecutor flouted the rules of grand jury proceedings to divert attention away from the exculpatory evidence. So he will be going to trial. Y'all, that is going to be a cray trial. Let's see. I'm just going to let someone know I'm live. And I don't expect Mr. Recovery Addict to come on every Friday night, although that would be freaking awesome. And I don't know. I've reached out through my mod to a mod for Brandy, and I don't think she'll come on. She seemed pretty tired, although it would bless my socks off. I wish I knew some mods for Emily D. Baker, but I don't. Let me get some music going on in the background. I like a little bit of something back in the background. We'll get that one going. Why can't I hear it? There we go. Well, this week's trial has been absolutely stunning, stellar. I wrote some questions down and get if we had a guest to come up, so I am ready for them. In the meantime, what did you think about today's hearing? I was absolutely floored. I was expecting to hear something about the flirty text messages, but what I was not expecting to hear or see is a personal attorney for Brian Higgins. For those of you who are joining me who don't know, first of all, I'm Ada Kay, the alternate juror, and we're following the court case for Karen Read. Karen Read is alleged in killing her deceased victim boyfriend, John O'Keefe, by basically getting in a lover's quarrel and backing up and hitting him, and then speeding off and leaving him to die in the snow. The defense says that this is a frame job, that the people in the house were a lot of police officers or connected by family, and that there was a fight that ensued and they killed him and put him out in the snow and are framing Ms. Read. That is where we stand as far as that's concerned. We have had 43, if I'm not mistaken, 43 witnesses, and we are in week 4. And we have not even gotten to the medical examiner, forensics of any kind, pathology of any kind. We have gotten to nothing. Oh, I see a comment. Ronnie, thank you. Oh, he was nervous because he could be brought up on charges, and we're going to talk about that. Some people didn't understand what had happened. Let me put that in my notes. Brian Higgins /lawyer /why. See, we'll definitely get into that. I'm going to do the drawing at the end of the night for the Tumblr, so hopefully give opportunities for others. Anybody who has friends or anybody who wants to, please sign on. Hello. So we have halfway for the C.W. Loudy. You know, for us being halfway, I really think they've wasted a lot of time on putting the cart before the horse with these witnesses. I really feel that these witnesses should have and could have been done later in the trial. I think this would have moved a whole lot faster if we had potentially had these had the forensic and all the experts come in first, which is a normal process. So why they're going backwards, I don't know. I really, really don't know. So Ronnie, what was your thought of today? Give me your rundown. Eddie, how are you doing? Please give me your rundown. Give me some comments. Anybody wishes to call in, my number, let me put it on the bottom of the screen. Let me put the burn phone is on and open. There we go. It didn't get spicy enough for me to put the spicy meter up today, but it did get a little nippy. This is his, what? Is this his third day or second day? This is his second full day on the stand. And I think that he held up really well. In fact, very confident. He seemed very honest and open in the beginning, especially about the relationship with Karen Read, about how she flirted with him. That was supposed to be this big bombshell. And it was a big bombshell. It definitely was. I was kind of bored too. Some of the trial is boring. It is not all like the movies where every moment you're on the edge of your seat. Trial can be very boring at times, especially when they're trying to get some of the evidence documented and entered and all that kind of stuff. It can get pretty boring. But it may have been boring, but we learned a few things. Just FYI, this is literally 17 days of notes. I know, Ronnie. I can't believe y'all have been on with me for this much time. We're becoming a family. I want to break out. We are family. Ba, 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 bum, 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 ba. All my mob and YouTubers and me. I'm crazy. But I just did the rainbow tabs. No reason behind the colors. It's just what it came in. Let me move my mic a little more where I want it. Okay. So, Brian Higgins. Oh my gosh, y'all. The one thing that I really wanted to hear was where his vehicle was parked the night all this had happened. Sorry about that. And he answered it for me. I'm very happy to hear it was where I would have assumed it was after. But why did only two people say that it was parked out front when everybody else didn't remember it at all? Yes, his timeline is matching. Okay, timeline is good. I'm not having a problem with any of the timeline. I think the timeline has been already delivered too much. So, but a lot of the timeline, is matching. The truck that he has is not white. It's actually gray, light gray, white, kind of, dirty white, whatever. But it did have the plow on front. He thought when he got back and beat the Alberts to their house, he thought it would be a funny little thing because it was just a dusting of snow at that point, to go and just put his plow down and on the front of his truck and plow up some of that little bit of snow just to tease him. And then they got there. So that was cool. Brian Albert was one, right, that said he was outside the mailbox. That's right. The truck, all right, you've got the McCabe's. Jennifer and Matt McCabe are the ones who stated that the truck was parked outside by the mailbox, which now has me questioning a lot of people's testimony because they said they never saw the truck. And there are people that said that when they looked outside, they saw Karen Reed's vehicle, but no other vehicle did they see. And then you have the people in another pickup that came to pick up somebody. That would be Ryan Nagel. Oh God, the other guy's name. All those people in that truck that came to pick up Julie Nagel. My cheat chart's over here. They all stated that there was no vehicle between them and Karen Reed. They said they actually pulled up right in front of, I haven't had dinner, y'all. I'm snacking. I just had lunch. And so they said that they had pulled up by the mailbox. Okay. So you pull up by the mailbox. That had to have been after 1:30. Let me see. I got to find them. I don't remember what day they were on. Matthew McCabe. So they were before the McCabes. Colin Albert before Colin. Allison McCabe. Ricky. Ricky is the one that drove the truck. And Heather was in the truck. Ryan Nagel was in the truck. I'm trying to see. Terry, no. So I'm trying to see at what time they pulled up. And I don't see where I wrote it there. Anybody know what time they pulled up? Oh, yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that, y'all. Okay, Ricky has a Ford F-150 dark gray, gold, well, tannish gray type thing. Didn't meet up. Central. Passing. We don't know. Watch her. They don't say what time he pulled up. So let's go to Julie Nagel's. I want to call her Nagel, and find out when Julie Nagel. Oh, I have a motorcycle coming behind. I was like, what the heck is that noise? We have the same idiot who likes to come down the street and rev his motorcycle. I don't understand why. Brian Albert. I need to make a list on who testified when because I am. Well, the Alberts testified before her, I think. So, anyway, we are. Do I do a Saturday night fun night? Normally, no. The reason why is because I do this Monday through Friday. I'm asking about when Julie testified. I'm trying to find Julie's. Like I said, I got a whole binder here. I will this weekend make a day list on who testified on what day. That is the one thing I have not done. It's just been okay. There it is, Sarah Levin. Okay, so she must have testified before Julie. Tristan Morris, Sarah Naval. Okay, she testified on day 11. So she texted at 12:11. Now, mind you, Brian Higgins is there between 12. Hi, Sparkles. On day 12, I have well, that's my day 11. As everybody's counting opening comments and all that, opening arguments is day 1. I start this at day 1 of testimony. So that's really, okay. So she texted Ryan. She had a lot of alcohol, texted Ryan. Okay, this is her testimony. She texted her brother, and when between the time of texting and the time he arrived, yes, she did continue, changed her mind. And when she arrived, she went to go tell him Ricky was driving the Ford F-150. The truck parked parallel to the house facing the flagpole. They looked out the window about 3 times. He had, okay, and then a mailbox to flagpole gave Jen McCabe. Okay. So she's saying that he parked at the flagpole and parked at the mailbox area facing the flagpole. She saw no body. I'm just reading down. She saw the black blob. Hi, kitty, kitty. So basically, that's confusing to me because Brian Higgins was already there. She showed up at 6 p.m., but she called her brother to pick her up. She texted her brother at 12:11, 12 seconds a.m. on the 29th. But Brian Higgins was already there. And they left about 1:45. So Brian Higgins left. So his truck was there, y'all. Brian Higgins' truck with the plow scoop that's about 6 feet wide, which is the smaller of the two. Some are 7 feet wide. On the front of his truck, with a hydraulic system with a lever that he pulls, was parked at the mailbox. He stated he parked it there, and both of the McCabe's said that it was parked there. So then, why is all these people are saying that saw the truck that was driven by Ricky or Richard Antonio? Why are they saying that? Why are they saying that he parked at the mailbox? He couldn't have. No damage. He'd observed no damage on the car. Okay, Brian Nagel says that he stopped in front of driveway and they had a direct view of Karen Reed's SUV. That is not possible because Brian Higgins' white pickup truck was parked there. Does not match. What is y'all's opinions on this? It does not match. I am calling BS. I wish I had a BS meter here. And then Heather states, they parked behind the SUV. Oh, let me do this. They say they parked behind the SUV in front of the house by the mailbox. So you have 3 people who said they parked by the mailbox in the SUV. Then you have Ricky's statement. Julie said when she was inside, she saw the SUV parked near the mailbox. Yes, I was getting to that. We're talking, but right now I'm talking, hey, y'all. Right now I'm talking about Julie and the 3 occupants of the vehicle. Where did the truck stop? Now, Ricky says he parked in front of the driveway near the mailbox. And he was 10 to 20 yards in front of him was Karen's SUV. That's the other thing. Some people were saying the SUV was a few, 5 to 10 feet in front of them. And then the rest of them are saying, no, it was yards, or if not, it was 5 to 10 yards away. But the problem with all of this is they all state that every different testimony makes my head spin. Yeah. But here's my thoughts. I'm going to believe the owner of the vehicle. I'm believing the owner of the vehicle. He states, and we have 2 adult witnesses, not young adult, what I call tween adults, or young adults who've been drinking far more than the adults who were drinking, I hope, and sure that the adults weren't as bad as they were. But the end result of all of this is that you actually have people who are sitting there saying, 2 adults who said, I saw the Brian Higgins vehicle parked in front by the mailbox. Basically, the tail of the mailbox his tailgate was at the mailbox. Now, that may be so. And if that vehicle was parked there, then let's talk about the fact that, okay, then Ricky could have pulled up in behind Higgins. Ricky could have pulled behind Higgins, and that's fine. But he actually, by pulling behind Higgins, could not have seen the black SUV in front of Brian. Ricky pulls behind Higgins. There's no way he can see Karen Reed's SUV in front of Higgins' pickup. Couldn't see taillights, would not see her moving. That to me is a huge red flag in this trial. Huge red flag. You've got at least 10 people stating that they didn't know where Brian Higgins' pickup was parked. That's just very suspicious to me. Very, very suspicious. Some people want, and then he left between 1 and 1:30. Most people put him there closer to 1:30, but we'll just say he leaves at 1:15. That is still within the window of time that he was there when Ricky pulled up with Ryan and Heather. So everybody else's testimony is off on that one. That is a huge red flag, and that creates reasonable doubt, and therefore I cannot imagine them convicting on that. Okay. Let's talk about some of the stuff that was talked about today. What is y'all's thoughts on the text and the flirting and the kiss? Oh my gosh, y'all. I knew that there was a kiss, but in my mind, was it a kiss on the cheek kiss, or because, you know, let me double check, because I thought he arrived. I thought Brian Higgins arrived, and I could be wrong, y'all. This is a lot of information. So if I am, forgive me, but I thought he arrived out the house Okay, my bad. He did leave 12:30 to 1, but by other people's testimony, I'm sorry, I seem to recall a female saying that she thought he left between 1 and 1:30, 1:45. But he says between 12:45 and 1 a.m. But do you know what? It doesn't matter because he's still there. He was at the police station at 1:30. Okay, thank you, Ronnie, for clarifying. You know, guys, this is not easy to remember all this. This entire book is all testimony. So it's hard to keep up with it all. But you're right. But it still doesn't, it's still the same. He was there when Ricky pulled up. Because they got there about 1:15, 1:20-ish, because she texted at 1:15. And they said it took about less than 8 minutes to get over to her. Even if it took 10 minutes, Ricky would have seen her out at the car. And Ricky also, they would have seen each other walking out. I remember something I want to write down. But the whole thing is that where was the truck parked? And there are people saying that, what time did Karen Reed arrive? Do we know? I have to go all the way back to the beginning. What time did Karen Reed, what time is it alleged that Karen Reed arrived? When did they see her vehicle? Anybody know? 12:15? Okay, so well, actually no, she was there at 12:27:42 because that's when a text came in, and she was there 4 minutes before that by the phone and GPS. So I think technology puts her there at 12:23. I remember now. So she's there at 12:23. Brian Higgins' car is still there. Supposedly. Unless he's lying. It is very close. That's all I'm saying on that. It is super close. What about the access card and the Sally port? I want to talk about that because how many of us have ever used access? Yeah. Mm-hmm. How many of us have used the access cards like they're talking about? You swipe it or you tap it and it lets you in and out of an area. I kind of wanted to scream at the defense today because he was going in and out about, well, it has you logging in, but you're not logged out. How can you not be, it has you going in, but it doesn't have you coming out? Where did you go? How else did you get out of there? And I'm like, y'all, whether you are entering or leaving a door and there's multiple people, one person takes their card and taps on it, and everybody else follows in behind. You could have one person, you can have 10 people. And I'm like, you know what, guys? That's very plausible. I don't understand what the big deal is about this. I really don't, because you have one card and then, if you got 3 or 4 people with you, one of you will tap your card and everybody else will either enter or exit depending on what you're doing. And your card is not going to activate. Okay? So, if it shows him going in one place at a certain time and then leaving another place at a certain time, but nothing in between, if that place is full of people and they're going in and out the doors, yes, that's right. So those cards only are as accurate as you use them. So listen carefully to the testimony moving forward. In any case, when they're talking about swipe cards, I know from my ex-husband's personal case situation. That's why that stuck out to me. Oh, baby girl. We got a kitten down here. So what was the deal with Brian Higgins getting angry at the football party at John O'Keefe's house? And he got mad and he made the comment. It was on the 16th of January at 9:30. He texted, haven't heard like this in years. That was Karen. And I think he said, or no, that was from John. And then he texted back, he being Brian, I blame Karen. Then it's, did I break your nephew's video game? And then John O'Keefe texts back, WTF, I'm hurting. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you're so right about that. In fact, I worked at a place that they were so strict about that if you swiped your card and let somebody else in behind you, you got in trouble. And I loved it because I remember probably towards the end of the week, I was going into the door, and this was a lockdown facility, and the president and CEO was behind me. Now, what do you think I did? I have a tap card, and we're told you don't let anybody in, even if you know them. Everybody has to do their tap card because that's one way that they validate when you enter and when you log in for your work. Because they've had employees that were logging in about a minute after they did their swipe card and logging in 10, 15 minutes early to their shift when you're not supposed to log in until you actually hit the floor. But so I'm standing there and I have my thing on an accordion like we all do. Tap it, door's open. I shut the door behind me and I keep walking. And then I went, oh, snap. I just shut the door on the CEO and president of that business. And I got called to the office. And I'm like, oh, man. I haven't worked here very long. I am already pissing off the top dog. That was scary. I was so nervous walking all the way down there. I got in the office and they shook my hand and asked how I was and all that. And he goes, can you tell me why you shut the door on me? And I said, sir, it was in the policies that we had and we signed when we got the card that we would not allow anybody to enter with us, that we had to only enter alone. I was following policy. I was following the, come on, kitty, 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 come here. She's getting big, y'all. She's like tripled in size. And I was like, I was following your procedure. I knew that I offended you. I am so sorry. But I take your policy and procedures very seriously. And oh my gosh, he gave me a Starbucks gift card and thanked me for following policy and procedure. And I got Employee of the Month for that. So that's serious stuff when you're messing with that. And so let's jump ahead because I want to really, really, really want to talk about this. The situation was, I love eating Twizzlers, but they get stuck in my teeth. Hey. So Brian Higgins contacted somebody at the, I guess, FBI office. And in that office, in the public area for all law enforcement, they can go over there and use this kiosk. But what he did was he was not using it for a part of the investigation he was working on. He did it for his own private phone. And then he said on the stand, he said between John and Karen Read. And he said it twice. I went back and watched it. Not between him and Karen Read. He said, John and Karen Read. I'm interested to see what happens when we get back to court on Tuesday. But the thing is that why is that such a big deal? And why did his attorney have to get involved? That's why he had his attorney there, because he knew what was going to come. So what happened? He sits there and it is, anytime you are part of a governmental agency at all, it is a part of your hiring process that whether it's state or federal, that you cannot use any of their resources for personal gain or for personal use. And that's exactly what he did. And he is no longer out and about with his job. They kind of touched on it and the defense kind of got squashed on it, but they said something along the lines of, well, you're no longer out on patrol, meaning you're not out in the field. Said you're no longer out in the field, but you're still employed. And so basically he's on a disciplinary desk job until the federal investigation is over. So I find that all very suspicious. So they brought the lawyer in and they wanted to make sure that his that he didn't do anything that could cause more harm in the current federal investigation, potential charges that he is going to be facing. It is a federal crime for him. Oh, come here, you little stink pot. She runs up to my feet and she bites my toes and I don't have shoes on. I wore flip flops, and in fact, I have a blanket on because my feet are cold. So anyway, he is facing potential federal charges for this, and I'm all like, "Whoa, y'all, this is serious." He's not only going to probably lose his job, and the fact that he admitted on the stand today, it wouldn't surprise me come Monday he was fired. But that's why his attorney was involved. Can you guys tell me? Just say here if you're watching, because my number counter doesn't appear to be correct. I'm gonna go over here and pull my thing up. Kitten, if you bite my toes one more time, we gonna have a problem, love. Oh, wow! It only says wow. Okay, y'all. It's not accurate. By the way, just FYI, we had 85 views on yesterday's. The numbers are slowly, painstakingly creeping up. Painstakingly creeping up. I don't want to. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm trying to stop. All right. Yeah, I know, but I had over 200 and something like the day after I was on the Recovery Addicts panel. I want to do a panel. I want to get some people on my panel. I mean, I appreciate the fact that Mr. Recovery Act has come on 2 weeks in a row on Friday. We all have had some long days, y'all. I mean, people don't realize how long and how much work all this takes. Yes, we had a jump in subscribers. This tumbler is going to be given away at the end of my live. Yes, we jumped up by 8. We jumped up by 8. So yay, we're improving. It's just my counter is not accurate on here. So it says 0 people watching, and I'm like, I know that's not true. So back to the thing about the attorney with Brian Higgins and why he had his own attorney. He has to tread very lightly because everything he is saying will and can be used against him. Just like right now when he's sitting there talking and they're bringing all the stuff up from the both grand juries. Now, some people are confused. There's 2 grand juries. One was for the state and one was for the federal government, and that is still an open investigation. So, y'all, I am going to follow that like crazy. Okay. So, he is I'm sure we're going to get into more hot water tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday on that. He also shared with us something about a tall, dark man. What? That came in the house. Tall, dark man. Dark-haired man. Well, Tristan has got tall, dark hair. And Colin Alberts has dark hair. But he only stayed a few minutes. Whom is he speaking of? Guess anybody? I'm not too sure. Whom is he speaking about? That was a huge thing. Okay, I have some questions that I have been asked, and I saved them for tonight, hoping we would have a guest. But I will answer it for myself. Is the trial going as you expected? I'll go ahead and put the questions up so people know what I am, kind of know what I'm talking about, so what I'm asking. For me, this trial is, I didn't have any expectations of this particular trial. It was not something that I really thought was that was anything to be expected. Um, I was really open minded with it. And so, I will say I knew it was going to be a long journey, but I will tell you that I am struggling with is the pace. It is getting very difficult for me to keep up with everything. Hence, I have a book. Part of the problem with being on a jury is yes, you may take notes, but they warn you on taking too many notes because then you miss some of the nuances in the testimony. So, how in the heck are we supposed to keep up with 2 months of testimony? I'm literally at an inch and a half in this one book. It's going to take 3 inches of a bind, two or three binders. Yeah. And the thing about the witnesses, I think it wouldn't feel this redundant and long if the prosecution would have curved or shaved the way he started with each and every one of the witnesses. Who all was here? Who all was there? Where each everybody was sitting? How much snow? What time did it start snowing? What bad? I mean, it got to the point that we were answering the questions before the witness was answering the blasted questions. And I find it interesting that I like the way this judge is controlling to a point, sometimes a little too much, but she is really controlling how all this is going. She is really controlling and moving it along as much as she can. I appreciate that. She's not allowing them to argue. She's not allowing to have a bunch of speaking objections. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, the next question is, how are the attorneys doing, in my humble opinion? I think that the prosecution is shooting themselves in the foot by the way that they're handling this case. Um, I don't understand the order in which they're doing their stuff. And so the defense for me is really getting, he's good. He's real good. But the one thing I do say about the defense is, my gosh, you beat a dead horse sometimes. And we just got to stop beating the dead horse. I understand he's trying to get to a point, but I think sometimes it kind of goes too long. And I think the prosecution is just absolutely objecting so much that it's actually getting to the point to where he was standing up today at the end of the day in the very, like, 2 3 words into the question, was standing up ready to object before the question was even asked. I think he's trying to preempt, and I think it needs to stop. That is my humble opinion. What if any I love this, and they put a little smirk on it. What if any surprises? What do y'all think? What if any surprises? What were surprises for you? Anybody have? Yeah, dragging on too long. You're right. Drags on too long. Exactly. Anybody want to chime in before I go on to the next one? Any surprises? The photos with Colin Albert's busted knuckles to me was a surprise. Um, the surprise about the cell phone. Well, I knew that there was a cell phone thing, but what surprised me was the dumping and getting the information through the FBI channels and doing all that. I think that was a surprise. Um, Actually, what surprises me is there's a lot of same verbiage being used in the small details that should be slightly different with every person. A witness said so and so and so wasn't in the house when John was there. That was the big proverbial slip of the tongue. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that for a hot minute. This kind of good stuff gets lost as we go on. Oh my gosh, that was a rewind and what? That to me was a huge shocker. But no one capitalized on it. The defense is not capitalizing on it, and that frustrates the hell out of me. They should have capitalized on that more. They should have. And here's the other thing. Nobody is reserving these witnesses that I know of to bring them back if need be. The text saying, tell them the guy didn't go in the house. That was pretty surprising too. I had heard through the grapevine the couple of days prior that there was some interesting texts between the witnesses. So, but to the context, that was definitely a surprise. Y'all got the hiccups, y'all. That was super shocking. That was. And the thing is that you guys are all in the police force. You were firemen, first responders, but come on. You've got Brian Albert, who's a police officer. You've got Brian Higgins. You've got John O'Keefe. You've got Kevin Albert. You've got all these people who know better, who are in the police force, know better that they should not be doing this, for God's sake. They know how evidence collecting works. They know what's supposed to be going on. Why are you not doing it? I'm confused. You guys ought to know by now that the moment that person's body was deceased, everybody in that house that was on that property that entire day and the next day were going to be investigated. So any text or phone calls you made to each other was going to be documented. And on top of that, everybody's phones, you know that everybody's phones are going to be searched. Everybody in that house is a potential, not just a witness, but a potential perpetrator. So why in the heck are you discussing this and saying things like that on text and leaving messages and such? I don't know. I don't get it. Okay. Y'all, give me your favorite witness and why. Favorite witness and why. Oh, I don't think we're going to get phone calls tonight, so I'll go ahead and take that banner off and just put that back up. Anybody have a favorite witness and why? I've got my own comments, but I want to hear from y'all. We may have the same. We may have the same. None this far? Nobody? Nobody this far? Ryan Nagel. Why Ryan, Ronnie? He seemed to be honest. Mm-hmm. The two sisters, I believe they should have probably not even been a part of this. Other than the hearsay of the situation with between John and Nicole. And once again, a lot of that's hearsay. The German couple. Oh my God, the lawyer and his wife. Jeez, I forgot about them. I did. Some of them are just kind of, there's one person that just blew through, like Tristan or something like that. Um, on the prosecution's positive, my favorite. I'm going to have to say, and people may kill me for it, but I have to say Carrie Roberts. Part of it is because she so far has been the perfect witness. Facts, this is the way it is. This is what we're going to do. ... Answered question, didn't fight back too much. Pretty consistent with her testimony throughout everything. What? We've done that. Done that. Least favorite witness. Your least favorite. Oh, that's going to be everybody's least favorite witness. We all can probably say it at the same time. Done, y'all. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. Jen. Oh my God, everybody can't stand. Oh, everybody's like, Jen. Oh, you ready? You ready? I want to do it. Can I do it? Okay, I'm going to pull the mic down. Jen. 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 I'm sorry, I just had to do it. That Jen. God, that was freaking insane. Oh, her in a freaking drama. I wouldn't want to be her friend. I'm sorry. And then I went and tried to friend her on Facebook. She came up on my feed, y'all. She came up on my feed. I was like, what? So guess what I ended up doing? We'll see if she I don't think that woman's doing anything on social media. I think she pulls up my name and she sees me online, Facebook. Oh my gosh, y'all. Yep, no, yep, no. I just couldn't resist. I mean, it popped up as, a suggestion, and I took the suggestion. I will die if she actually accepts. Oh my God. Brian Albert with the "Don't Tell the Guy" came in. Hi, baby girl. You are being a little feisty kitten under my desk. Yes, you is. You're going to say hello to everybody? Say hello. Look at those ears. It's like, what are you doing? Hi. Oh, it's a baby. She goes, I don't want to be held. I want to play. Oh, meow. Oh, look at her. She's all like, what the? That was at you, lion. Actually, I think one of the funniest thing was Colin Albert's videos. I'm gonna you up. Bang, bang. Oh, I know, y'all. I could not believe Colin Albert. That was a shocker. I didn't see that coming. I did not see that video coming. I have to admit. What baby girl? You want to get over that? God, that girl jumps from any height. Yeah, that was a little that to me was one of the things. Okay, guys, this is a loaded question. This is a loaded question. The dumbest was Tristan. Oh my God. Tristan had no brains between his ears. No brains between ears at all. Not in the least. Okay, the dumbest person. That's Tristan at Sparkles. Okay, what is your opinion about the judge? You love her or you hate her, or very little in between. Some people think she's biased. I used to kind of think that, but I think she's very time management oriented. So if you're worried about it as far as, cutting people off and taking breaks and not caring where they are in testimony, she does that in all of her trials. Oh, she needs a makeover. I find it funny every time you watch her, every time she comes in to talk to the jury, she'll lean forward. Okay, I'm going to ask you the same 3 questions. And then she stands up. And then she leans in every time. She's not my favorite judge. This is a good one. I only have a few questions. If we don't have any more, I'll get off early. Okay, this was a really oh my God. She's like, I'm like, quit breathing in the mic. I think it's Recovery Addict that has a mic breather counter on his little counting thing. I wish I had those little counting things. Okay, what questions? Oh, I missed it. Oh man. All right, I didn't capitalize it. What question you need to answer before the end of the trial to make your decisions or decisions? Kind of wish we had where prosecutor. Who injured John? Okay. Who, what, when, and where? Of course. Who did it? Who did it? The Game of Clue. I love that guy. Who y'all were so funny about the Game of Clue. But who did it? But what? It's not just who did it. Let's assume we'll never know who did it. But in order to find you're guilty or innocent, so like for me, I want the explanation of the injuries. I want the pathology and the medical examiner reports. I wanted the why did they not send off swab samples on the inside of the glass? They talk about the glass that Karen Reed brought in was a tall glass with bubbles along the bottom. This was not a tall glass, apparently. So yeah. Biting my feet. She likes to play with your toes. I just really want to know, did John go in the house? And in order to convict, I want dog. Yeah. Oh, I got the answer to the dog. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to learn where the dog has gone? Oh my gosh. Are you ready? The dog is in the witness protection program. I need to create a short saying, hey, y'all, guess what? In the Karen Read trial, everybody's worried about the dog, and the dog was rehomed after biting some people. And they said that it was rehomed. Well, guess what? It wasn't. It's been in the witness protection program. Okay. I think he did go into the house. Karen would not have been texting him if he wasn't in the house. Good point. Well, there were other texts. So why? Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Y'all, 8 hours a day of this for a month. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Okay, let's go to the next question. Yep, the dog went into the witness protection program. Where has the prosecution missed the boat? Where have they missed the boat? Where did they drop the ball so far? For me, they've dropped the ball in the order of which they have put their witnesses up. I think they are losing the jury. I think they have lost momentum and power. I feel that they are in a position right now where they're treading water with a bunch of life preservers, trying not to drown in their witnesses. I believe that they are more focused on proving the theory of the defense is wrong than they are in proving that Karen Read actually did it. I don't hear enough of Karen Read actually did it. I don't. I do not. I think that's where he's dropping the ball. And that to me is a big frustration because this is his case to lose or it's his case to win. And he is definitely losing. Lally is just there to be there. It's been speculated that they didn't want to bring this trial and they were forced. Their hand was forced. So, yeah, they're saying that their hand was forced to bring the trial. The defense. Where has the defense missed the boat? Yes, the screaming of KR was just, I hit him. I don't know if Jennifer O'Keefe and Jennifer McCabe and Carrie Roberts got together and talked about this. I don't know if she was that truly hysterical prior to finding his body. At that point, yeah, that's a very natural reaction. She's not doing anything I've not seen 100 times. So are they setting this up? Because there's no other evidence. Think about this. Yeah, the defense have all the receipts and they're kicking butt. Think about this. There's no recording. There's no video. There's no documentation prior to her getting out of the car and finding his body that she's going ape crap. Now, she showed up at Jennifer McCabe's house screaming bloody murder, and they were afraid she was going to wake the neighbors, especially the husband, Matt. Well, if I was a police officer, I would go to the neighbors and say, did you hear any disturbance last night? I would. I go, what did you hear last night? Did you hear anything? Were y'all awakened by anything? I would look for cameras that face that house because you would see her standing out there screaming like a freaking idiot. Where are the videos? The video in the Sally Port during the time that Brian Higgins and the chief of police were in the Sally Port alone together for 90 minutes and no recording. Just disappeared. The recording across the street from the assistant chief of police, um, from the adjacent or across from the Alberts home, his ring was down for that day. I'm like, we got too many coincidences. I mean, it's like uh, they could have pulled the cams from the intersections and they could have seen her driving through the intersections and say, hey, let's see where that tail light shows up broken, because it would show up on the drive if it truly broke prior. I mean, if she came home, and that was the other thing, if she came home and she left that night to go to the bar and grill, Waterfall Bar and Grill, and they left, you would see that tail light as she backed up and went out. Then you would see it when you may or may not have seen it when she came home. But then she backed up and she hit John's car. From then on, you'd see it. But what about other intersections before the blizzard? The day before, you could have seen it. I would have pulled up their camera the day before all this happened and kind of followed and find out, was it broken even? That thing could have been broken days before and she didn't know it. Not everybody walks around the back of their car when they get out. You get out, you go through the front. Somebody could have backed up into it at the bar and grill and knocked it out. And she's just assuming because she bumped into John O'Keefe's vehicle that's where she broke it. It could have been broken at the bar and grill. Just saying. Okay, guys. It is 8:17 my time. I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. I'm going to do the drawing. Let me get it up there. Give me a minute. I'm going to hide current comment. I'm going to unpin. New comment. I will. Okay, are y'all ready? I pushed the spinning. I don't know how to get this on. So I pushed the spinning wheel and the winner is Ronnie. Ronnie. Look what you won. Ronnie, you need to instant message me. I'll have to take this off. I don't think you want to see what this cost. Yikes. Oh, I'm sorry, Sparkles. Maybe next time. I will have mod prizes too, by the way. Just so you know, mods. I plan on doing something weekly just for the mods. So either you may get a gift or I'll do a drawing. We'll do something. Okay, Ronnie. What I need you to do is that you need my burner phone number. So I'll put it up real quick. Write that down. And text me your full name, mailing address, and phone number. So I believe in blessing my mods. You guys will be blessed greatly. You guys will be blessed greatly. So I will send that to you, Ronnie. I want to write down Ronnie 1. Yay, Ronnie. Okay, Ronnie, just know that I work in this office literally. I'm here from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. So it may have to be until next Thursday or Friday before I can get this mailed off. If I can get it sooner, I will. Y'all need to be patient with me with that, because where I live and working in the place that I work, our post offices are not open when I can get there. It sucks. Okay? With y'all, y'all have been amazing. I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you. You are valued and you are worthy of all praise. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Um, and I will see you guys. I may pop on for something for the weekend. I do need to do my alternate juror, but that won't be on this channel. I mean, it's connected to this channel, but I don't know. That's just something different. That's my sharing about my experiences of losing my husband to prison, and hope to bring encouragement to other women who have lost their, or men who have lost their spouse, or I guess parents, anybody who's lost a family member to prison. And each week is a different topic. I really think I need to do that. I haven't done that in about 3 weeks because I've been doing this trial. So, with that, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and y'all are freaking awesome. And I hope y'all have a great evening. Okay? In the meantime,